Next episode, Tradepreneur Show, is more on AI, artificial intelligence. We did an episode not too long ago. I want to share a recent experience I had where AI saved the day for us. Welcome back to another episode of the Tradepreneur Show. I'm your host, Patrick Summers. Tanya Priest, the co-host, stepping in, stepping up, stepping out.
Love it.
How you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Good. Okay, so you've been on a few episodes. How you feeling?
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome stuff to talk about and to educate people. I love it.
Cool. So we did an episode not too long ago on AI, and if you go to our website, thetradepreneurshow.com, in that episode, along with it, I created a download that has a bunch of prompts you can use in the trades. You can even use for health and nutrition, in meal planning and grocery shopping, but a lot of prompts to use in helping you in the field. And I wanted to come back and do another episode on AI because I'm using it more and more. And you may know that I've got paid versions of Grok, which is the Elon Musk's AI, and I've got paid versions of ChatGPT. Those are the two main platforms that I'm using. And then there's other AI that I'm using as well in different areas. But for my everyday go-to, I'm experimenting with both of those to see how they work, pros and cons of both. And man, there's tons of pros and cons of both. I would say that what they both are doing are evolving very quickly. It's absolutely amazing how I can go in and a few days later go back into one of them and they're announcing some new update or some new feature. Using them for creating images, absolutely unbelievable. Grok does it a little bit like you ask it to create an image, it's going to create two versions of the same image side by side very quickly. And it'll create pretty much whatever you want, right? Whereas ChatGPT, it's going to create an image, a really sharp image. It's going to create one at a time. It's going to be very, it's a slower process. So with what I was saying with Grok, it will pretty much do whatever you want. It has no programming limitations per se to get into gray areas, controversial areas. Whereas ChatGPT, you can get into some political stuff, and it won't do it because it's too controversial or too polarizing. So they both have kind of. It's at the end of the day, it's a machine, right? It's a machine learning, but its programmers decide it's what it can and can't do. So I find little nuances like that. I also find some errors. There was one in particular I was doing something with researching something in the Trump administration, 2025. And ChatGPT came back and said that that is not accurate because Biden is president and Trump is not president, and this was like March, so I of course had to prompt to ChatGPT that actually Trump won the election in November, was sworn in on January 20th of 2025. And then it kind of joggled its whatever. And, my apologies. Like, whatever. And then it was able to do what it needed to do. But I'm not here to talk about the nuances of why and why not things happen or work. Just that those are my experiences I want to pass on. They make very quick work of things, especially when analyzing things. Business owners, if you're looking at pricing, if you're looking at impact of pricing, especially like what we talked about a few episodes back on tariffs, ChatGPT is a great source, or Grok, any one of them, to figure that stuff out. What I really want to talk about is, one, I recently used AI. Specifically, in this case, it was ChatGPT to solve a problem in the field. And I'm going to share that in a minute. But first, Tanya, what is your feeling? Because there's a lot of feelings out there, mixed feelings, pros, cons, whatever, good, bad, on AI. What's your take on AI?
So for AI, my take personally, it's helped me a lot professionally. So I really like it, but I know that there's a lot of concerns out there. There's the concerns of AI and the environment, taking over labor, taking over jobs. So, kind of go back and forth sometimes.
Yeah, and I will say, obviously, that's a concern, is the labor side of things, right? If you listen to Elon Musk and the robots he's building, I personally feel Grok is being groomed to be the intelligence inside his robots, because it's a much more human interaction using Grok. And I almost feel like this is the training, because if you're going to have a robot interacting with humans, whether it's in the home or the workforce, wherever it is, it's got to be human-like in how it interacts, right?
Right.
Otherwise, it gets really scary. And of course, that might even make it scary too. That said, I know Elon and some other people have talked about robots being used mainly to do jobs that are much too dangerous for humans, that humans currently do. They talked about, there's a big push, there's a company out there now that's attempting to use AI in shipbuilding. Because evidently there's a lot of dangerous roles in shipbuilding. I'm thinking welding in holes and things like that. But there's that push. But think bomb technicians, things like that. So I'm one of these firm believers that any fall to the labor force due to AI is because of the laziness of the worker, right? I know that sounds maybe ignorant and whatnot, but when I go into a convenience store and somebody walks in and I walk in and the hot dogs aren't even on the thing because they didn't have time to put hot dogs on, and they're behind the counter and they don't even make eye contact. They may say hello, and the place doesn't look that clean. I'm like, okay, you should be replaced by somebody. Now, if you can get AI in there that when you walk in, you can say, hey, thanks for coming in. It's great to see you. First time here, right? Instead of this welcome in. What the hell's welcome in? All of a sudden, everybody's saying welcome in. It's like this message went out. Everybody, the new word is welcome in, and into the welcome. I'm like, I don't know how this communicates, but it used to be like, welcome. Hi, how are you? Now it's welcome in. So someone sends a memo out somewhere. I shit you not. And I walk into a place. Welcome in. Oh, I am in. Thank you. Thank you. Like, who sent you that memo? Nobody personalizes anything, right? Welcome in. Welcome to the inn, right? That would be personalized if you ran an inn. How about, hey, thanks for stopping by. First time here? How can I help you? Anything you're looking for in particular? So they're like, they're playing their
On their phone.
game on their phone. They don't even look up. The hot dogs that are on the thing spinning are so burnt, it looks like there was a small nuclear blast in the hot dog machine, and then there's no fresh ones. So that's why AI will take jobs, right? So just step up and we'll be fine. Now, I digress. I'm getting off. I tend to do this. I get very passionate about things. I love having fun. I love being controversial. Here's how we used AI recently, me personally, in the field. And I wasn't in the field. I have a good friend. He owns a restaurant. And we do plumbing and electrical and whatnot for him. He has another guy that usually handles the HVAC. But we handle the electrical and plumbing. And he texted me one day. He's like, Patrick, can you fix a dishwasher? Like a commercial dishwasher. I'm like, yeah. Like, again, it's like the episode where I said, catch the fish. You can always throw it back. I said, yeah. I'm like, we'll get out there. We'll figure it out. Because I'm like, if we can fix this dishwasher in a restaurant, we can fix any dishwasher in a restaurant. We just opened up another whole avenue of business for us if we ever decided we wanted to get into it. So I said, yeah, we'll send a tech out. So I send our electrician out. Electrician does some troubleshooting and says, hey, there's this pressure switch. It's bad. Turns out the pressure switch was bad. But I said, all right, send me pictures of the switch and the data plate. He did. That put it into, uploaded the pictures on my phone into ChatGPT. Absolutely didn't say anything. just put the pictures in. It immediately tells me everything I need to know about this dishwasher and then the part. And then it asked me some questions. I can't remember specifically what it asked me. I said, where can I source this part? It gave me links to like 3 different places. I sent them to our purchasing, to the warehouse. I said, I need this part. Here's where you can source it. Literally, an hour or so went by. Park will be here on Friday or Monday or wherever it was. I mean, otherwise, without ChatGPT, do you know the search I would have to go through? I would be searching the manufacturer of that dishwasher, and I would get like 165,000 paid ads. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, people, but ads that would pop up, people selling that thing, where I can buy them used, everything like that. And we're not even talking trying to find the part. This cut my work down to literally under 2 minutes. So, part comes in, electrician goes out, replaces the part. Hey, it's still not working. There's something else going on. I said, okay. He was traveling the next day. And I said, all right, I'll get it handled. So I reach out to one of our HVAC techs, pretty senior tech, and I sent him the pictures and the part. And then I also went back into ChatGPT and I said, this system is not working. There's power to the system. Does not work when the door shuts. It printed out an entire troubleshooting steps. I took that. I sent it to the technician. Technician went out the next day, fixed the system, following the troubleshooting. And literally, it was AI that allowed us to work on a piece of equipment, source the parts, and then when there was additional issues found, troubleshoot it through all the steps to make sure everything was working properly, identified the additional issue, boom, fixed it. It's not that wouldn't be possible with AI. That would have been taken more than 3 to 5 minutes of my time between the 2 steps, the part and then the troubleshooting. And it probably didn't even really take that long. So there's how you use AI in your everyday world as a technician, as a business owner, as somebody, a CSR or a dispatcher, right? We're using AI in our dispatch. But here's something. So we have this individual, good kid, and a lot of potential, kind of running our warehouse, wanting to get an opportunity to really advance. In our warehouse, we need to get inventory in place. And I'm going to do this actually. And I'll let you know how it goes. I'm like, you know what we should do? I was having this conversation with somebody. If I take a picture, like just go to where we keep all of our motors. We have a lot of different motors for HVAC, and our capacitors. I'm going to take a picture of that section. And I'm going to say, listen, I'm trying to streamline our parts department and operations, minimize inventory, organize inventory, create a system, whatever, right? I would create that prompt and then upload those pictures. You know what AI is going to do without me even having done it? It's going to identify the motors, because AI will be able to say, oh, that motor, that 1875 model number is whatever, 1075 horsepower, or I'm sorry, RPM, whatever horsepower, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to it's a universal condenser fin motor. But it's also going to identify on the motor specs a totally different brand, a totally different model numbers, or anything like that, and identify them as the exact same motor, just different manufacturers, different part numbers. And it's going to go and say, okay, all of these motors should be together. All of these motors should be together. These should be together. This is how you should organize it this way to create a pick order that's best. This motor is the oldest. This motor should be on top, so it's last in, first out, etc. I mean, literally, you can use AI to simplify so many things, and not just simplify, accelerate. And your fear of AI, the fears are real. They're legitimate to have them, right? What's really going to determine if we should fear it or not is our interaction with it and how we use it. Because it's the thing with AI, you can use it for good, you can use it for bad, right? And sadly, it is being used for bad.
So just a question for you. what if there's people out there that really don't know how to use it the way you're using it? Like, how do you learn how to use it in those ways?
It's all in the prompt. So if you know how to Google search something, you Google search ChatGPT, right? You go through the steps and then you say, I have no idea how to use you to my advantage. Could you please show me how I can utilize you in my everyday? And that's all you need to do. Then it's going to say, it'll put some things out, examples it can do probably, but it may come back and say, to best answer your question, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? Like, what's your job? Are you a student? How do you want to use me? What are you trying to simplify? What do you need help with? Right? Because the more information you give it, the more it can answer your questions. Right? So let's say I'm a student, I'm a senior in high school, and I'm on the cross country team, and I'm trying to maximize my available time and get the best scores, And then it will, okay, I can help you with this plan or that. It'll come back all kinds of, you'd absolutely be amazed. And if it doesn't come back with the right things or it's off base, you just give it the feedback. And if you the one thing with Grok is it doesn't have a memory like ChatGPT does. So you can update the memory in ChatGPT as you interact with it, and it will get to know you, right?
Gotcha.
When I say get to know you, not get to know you like we get to know each other like human beings, but its memory will recall things. So now when I go in and I interact with it, it knows what my goals are, my roles are, personally and professionally, and it will reference back to them in answering my questions.
Oh, wow.
So that's the great thing about AI. There is no excuse not to use it. It will teach you and instruct you in how to use it. Just start messing around with it. In fact, one of the things I'm going to be offering at no cost in the future, not too distant future, I'm going to do like a 30-minute, 45-minute online tutorial class. You can join live, and we're going to walk through some real life examples, some step-by-steps how to use it, and then have a question and answer session, because it's not a question if you're going to use AI, it's a question of when. And there's something in business called first to market advantage. First to market advantage is you could have two identical businesses, right? The first one to market usually has a distinct advantage over the second on the market. So the sooner you can adapt technology and utilize it in a smart way, the better off you're going to be, typically, right? Not always, but typically as a rule of thumb. So with that said, I don't know. Is this our third episode we did together? Fourth?
So I think it's our fourth.
Fourth?
Yeah.
Think you still feel it like you felt at the beginning of this one?
I feel way better now.
Okay.
Way more comfortable.
Okay, it's been like 20 minutes. Hey, listen, Tradepreneur Show. It's my passion. Check out our website, thetradepreneurshow.com. Check us out on YouTube, wherever you can find podcasts. Incredibly passionate. I am here. If you got questions, send me questions. I'll answer questions. You want to get on a phone call because you have a question? I'd be more than happy to. I am passionate about this. I am driving for my own personal success, and I want to help drive others for personal success, whatever that looks like, as long as it's legal, ethical, moral, and hopefully has to do with the trades. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'm signing off as your host, Patrick Summers, and stand-in co-host, Tanya Priest.